Hi everyone, Stepan here. Today I'm going to cover round 1 of Split Open. We just started yesterday. And in round 1 I faced a FIDE master, a young FIDE master, age 21, almost 2400, so a very strong player. Before I start, I would like to give you guys a challenge. An idea I was given by a lovely gentleman I met at the tournament yesterday. He's been following my channel and he came to me, we met and talked, and he gave me an idea to play a correspondence game against subscribers on the channel, and I thought it was a marvelous idea. So what we are going to do is play a correspondence game in which I'm going to make one move at the start of each video, and then in that video you can comment in the comment section below with your suggested move. And I'm going to make an analysis of the moves which you have given, not a chess analysis, but I'm just going to conclude which move has the highest number of votes, and then I'm going to play that move for you guys and show it to you in the next video and play my next move. So to start with, let's start the game. I'm going to have the white pieces because there is much more of you. I played e4. And now in the comment section, please comment your suggested move. Whichever move has the highest number of votes, I'm going to play that and then play my response at the start of the next video. So in about, hopefully, more than 40 videos, we are going to finish the game, and then I'm going to make a video analysis of the game. Good luck, guys. Please play sound openings. Please don't use the engine. I would like it to be a normal correspondence game without the engines, as if it were the 19th century. So yeah, make your move. Okay, now to the game. I didn't know who I was going to be playing. This FIDE master, Dijkhuis, sorry for the pronunciation, I'm not good at Dutch, is very strong, and I knew that he was an option. I didn't know which color I was going to have or anything, and I know that he plays the Sicilian, so I did some prep for that. And we entered the Prins Sicilian, which I normally play, so e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, c d4, knight d4, knight f6, and now I don't play the normal knight c3, I play f3. And he had a think when I played f3. I'm not sure, well, he definitely wasn't expecting that. I'm not sure that he is familiar with the opening, but later on he proved that he was. So he played e5, which is the best move, knight b3, d5. And here you can either, after knight b3, you can either play bishop e6 or d5. Those are the two best moves. He played d5, bishop g5 is the only move. d4 is the best move, and now c3 challenging his center. This is all mainline theory. Knight c6 putting more pressure on the center. Bishop b5 challenging his center further because I'm pinning the knight and now threatening to take the pawn. And he played queen b6, and now white wins a pawn. This is all theory. So bishop takes c6 check, b takes c6, he has to take with the b pawn, and now c takes d4. And as you can see, white is a pawn up. If he captures on d4, then queen takes d4, and we are going to exchange the queens. I'm just going to be better a pawn up. So there are two moves here. He played a move which I did not expect. I played this exact position in the 8th round of Gradište against Dabic, 2100 or 2000 something. And I did well. I was a pawn up and I drew in the endgame. I could have won. So yeah, the main move here, and sorry about the wind, I'm outside on the balcony, I hope the sound is not too bad. The main move here is bishop b4 check, and now I obviously have to play knight c3. And here white can, well, white is hardly going to castle. That's almost impossible. The main move for black here is bishop a6, stopping me from castling. And now in the game against Dabic, I played a slightly dubious move. D takes e5. He played rook to d8. I played queen to c2. He played h6, and I played queen to f2, forcing an exchange of queens. So now he took my bishop, took the queen, pawn takes knight, pawn takes pawn, and I was a pawn up, a clear pawn up, and had a good position. After c takes d4 in the game yesterday, my opponent played bishop a6 immediately, and now I was struggling because I knew that I have several options. I knew that d takes e5 is an improvement to the last game because The bishop isn't on b4 yet, so worst case if I take and he plays bishop b4, knight c3, rook d8, we have the same position I had in the last game. So I thought that could be okay. So after c takes d4, the first thing I was calculating was d takes e5. I'm sorry, after bishop a6. The first thing I was calculating was d takes e5. And the second thing I was calculating, which I know is a move, is a plan to stop this bishop from stopping me from castling. So the move is knight a3. And after knight a3, rook d8 is the best move, and now I play the move rook c1. And he can either play h6 or take. Taking is best, and now I play knight c4. After knight c4, I'm threatening to castle, so bishop c4, rook takes c4, bishop b4 check, bishop d2, and now bishop takes d2, queen takes d2, and as you can see, the material situation is equal. White is supposed to be slightly better, and I knew this position. I knew that knight a3 is one of the main moves, if not the main move. I'm going to run an engine analysis quickly at the end of the video, but I didn't play that. After bishop a6, I started calculating a move which I've thought about and analyzed in the recent weeks, and the position I saw in my head was favorable for white. So what I was calculating, and I was calculating the move queen d2, which is a bad move in hindsight. So my analysis was queen d2, rook d8, bishop f6, gf6, d5, cd5, ed5, bishop b4 check, knight c3, castles short, castles long. And I have a passed pawn, an extra passed pawn on d5, a lot of pressure on my king, but I thought that that was the best way to go for an advantage. And that's what ended up happening in the game. Queen d2, rook d8, bishop takes, pawn takes, d5, pawn d5, and now just to mention this, rook takes doesn't work because this check isn't scary. I'm running away and there's no mate, so he cannot take. So after e takes d5, he did play bishop b4. Well, it's not check, but it's attacking my queen. Knight c3, castles, and this is the position which I saw in my head before queen d2. The problem is that the position is lost for white, which I just couldn't see why. I had the exact image of this position in my head, and I couldn't really see this being worse for white. And I'm going to show you why now. He took on c3, which I expected, b takes c3, and he played bishop c4, which I expected. There's a move I missed, though. Firstly, let me mention that king b2 or queen c2 or queen b2 doesn't really work. If I play the move king b2, then rook takes d5, and white is virtually lost. I would probably have to take the rook now and give up my queen for 2 pieces and be just worse. So after bishop c4, before queen d2, I saw that I was going to play the move d6. And after d6, my pawn is now 2 squares away from queening. It's a full hour here, sorry, so the church is ringing. I was expecting bishop b3, a b3, queen b3, queen b2, queen e6, queen b4. And this position I saw in my head, threatening a check here, threatening to exchange the queens, an equal number of pawns in a position in which I probably cannot be worse. After d6, however, yeah, I'm sorry, this ringing is really loud. I forgot what it's like to be in split. I hope you don't mind it. After d6, he played a much better move, which I had completely missed, rook b8. And now my position is terminal. How do I defend? Well, firstly, if I move the knight, it's checkmate, so I cannot move the knight. So I have to defend. And I cannot defend 3 times, I can only defend with the queen. So I thought about queen c2 or queen b2. And then I saw that whichever one of these 2 moves I play, a5, a4 is coming next, and my knight is going to have to move. So I played queen b2. The point behind queen b2 is that I'm going to play queen a3. So when a5 comes, a4 is going to be impossible, I'm just going to take it. But after a long think, and this was his first really long think in the game, he did play a5. I did play queen a3, and now I saw that my idea of queen d2 is refuted with his next move, which was really hard to see that far ahead. Queen e3 check. there's nothing I can do. I have to move my king. If I start blocking with the rook, then I think I'm just even more worse than if I move my king. So I played king b2, and now a4, and I cannot take the pawn. I cannot leave the pawn there. So I took it. Queen takes a4, and now queen e2 check. Rook d2 fails because of queen takes d2. My knight is pinned, so I have to move my king. King c1, moving it away from the open file, from the knight, and now rook a8. And here, well, everything is bad. I have to calculate two moves. The first one is queen b4, rook takes, rook d2, rook takes, knight takes, and now let's say bishop e6, stopping my pawn from advancing. This is really hard to play. If I try to play something like c4, then probably rook a8, and I mean I'm probably going to lose this position easily. If I turn on the engine, this is, yeah, the engine says it's equal, so probably rook a8 is the mistake. Yeah, queen e3 or queen d3 or queen takes pawn is probably better. So I didn't play that. In the game, I didn't play queen b4. I played an even worse move. So what I saw was, well, let's try to trick him. We were both under 20 minutes before a5, and by this point I had about 5 minutes left. He had about 17. So I played a very tricky move, knight a5. Now the problem with knight a5 is not that he has queen e3 check, because I have king c2 defending here, even though this is bad as well. The problem with knight a5 is what he had played, just bishop e6, and now queen a6 wins my knight. I cannot save the knight. So now with about, I've spent the last minutes I've had on the clock, came to 20 seconds probably. I found one trick in the position which didn't work. Rook he1, queen a6, and I took on e5. Pawn takes e5, queen h4, the last trick, but he stopped it. My threat is if he takes the knight, I have a perpetual check. But unfortunately for me, after queen h4, he almost immediately played f6, and I resigned. So I lost the game, and I lost it because of a theoretical mistake once again. So I have to work on the Prins Sicilian some more. The bad thing is that I saw what is going to happen after my mistake, and I thought that it was going to be fine for me. An extra passed pawn on d5, a castled king, unsafe, albeit, but castled. And his king is open as well, so queen h4, queen g3 check. Maybe there are some perpetual checks, or even stronger threats with rook e1, rook e4, rook g4, or rook h4. So I saw what was going to happen, misjudged the position, and lost. Congratulations to my opponent, he did a great job and beat me. Okay, today in round 2 I'm playing an opponent rated 1500. That's what happens when you lose the first round. I have the black pieces. I cannot prepare because there are no games of his online, so we are going to see what's going to be played. Cross your fingers in any case. And yeah, please leave your move in the comments below. So in our game, let me switch to that board. I played the move pawn to e4. Give me your move. Whatever has the highest number of votes, I'm going to play it, and then play my second move in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like extra content, and if you would like to support me, please check out my Patreon page. There is a link in the description below. And stay tuned for more chess. See you later. Bye bye.